Yo, what up, YouTube, man? I am back with another video. And as we have just pretty much under 30 days left until we get into 2023, I want to give you guys some very important questions you have to ask yourself before purchasing a home, right? Now, I have a list of questions and answers that I'm going to give you. Now, understand this: everybody's circumstance is different, everybody's financial situation is different. So, we're going to go over these questions. I'm going to do my best to answer each and every one of them, pretty much to put you in the best position in order to purchase a property. Because what we do understand is that purchasing a home is one of the biggest assets that we will make in our lives. So let's go over a few questions, let's go over a few answers, and let's just kind of see what type of things we should really be looking at before we make that big purchase, right? So number one of the most important questions is, how much mortgage can I afford? Right? How much mortgage can I afford? Now, when you're going to go apply for a mortgage, let's just say we want to be realistic, okay? If you make 30,000 a year, um, you will not get approved for $1 million home, right? But when we're actually looking at how much you can afford personally, or I can afford personally, we want to consider things like reserves. We want to consider how much we can afford for a down payment, which we're going to talk about. We want to look forward to pretty much how much of a house am I comfortable managing, right? So how much can I afford, right? Now, some people use different rules. You can use, I will not purchase a mortgage that is more than 30% of my income, right? So let's just say we use the 30% rule. And for simple numbers, all right, if we had $100, no more than 30% of that would be $30, right? So of course, if this number was 1,000, no bigger percentage of that would be $300, right? So our mortgage is 1,000. We want to make sure that our if our if our monthly income is 1,000, we want to make sure that our mortgage is no more than 300 using a 30% rule, right? You make $1,000 a month, you give up 300 for the mortgage. So how much mortgage can I afford? Secondly, and we talk about this all the time, you guys can go back and review some of my old videos. What do I need to qualify for a loan, right? We're going to keep this simple, we're going to keep this short, because we talk about this in other videos where we already know we need cash because we got to pay for the down payment. We need credit because we got to have that credit score in order to get approved, right? They're going to look at our debt to income ratio. So how much debt do you currently have versus how much income do you currently have? Um, and you really want to look at the factors that's going to qualify you, right? When we're looking at the credit, we're looking at the score and the data. So a lot of times that's negative accounts, collections, things like that that can prevent you from getting a mortgage. So you always want to say, well, what would I need to qualify, right? Because even when you're looking to buy the home, you still want to figure out, how do I actually get approved, right? So thirdly, should I get a fixed rate mortgage or an adjustable rate mortgage? Now, a fixed rate stays the same. So fixed stays the same, and adjustable mean that monthly amount can change at some point. Now, what you can always do, you always talk to your lenders, you always talk to the people that's assisting you to see what is the best option for you. But fixed will stay the same, and adjustable mean it may fluctuate or it may change, right? Now, like I said in the beginning, everyone's situation is different. Now, next question you want to ask yourself is, should I get a 15-year or a 30-year mortgage? Right? And this is super important because um, depending on, you might want to ask yourself a couple more questions when you're asking about this 15-year or the 30-year mortgage. Am I living in the home? Right? Or am I living there? And the reason why I say, are you living there, is property. This may be a primary residence. This may be a property you bought for someone else, right? And you may be looking for something different with each property. Like if it's your primary residence, you may not mind having a 30-year mortgage because you know you want to live there for 30 years. If it's a rental property, maybe you might say, hey, I want to get a 15-year mortgage because I want to pay it down as fast as I can so that way I can cash out and keep buying more properties. So one of the questions you want to ask yourself is, what type of mortgage do I want to get? And also, how much is that going to cost you, right? Because there will be a difference based off of the terms, how long you have borrowed that money for the property. Now, next is what is mortgage points, right? So, real quick, in very, very simple terms, guys, mortgage points is prepaid interest, all right? It is prepaid interest. So, when you get a property, you do have to pay interest on that property, but some lenders give you the option to prepay that balance, and you'll be able to actually have that tied into what you already paying, right? So, what are mortgage points, prepaid interest, guys? And then lastly, this is super important, right? Because when we talk about buying a house, a lot of times we talk about the mortgage, we talk about the down payment, we talk about the realtor, and we talk about all these different things, but you do not hear people talk a lot about closing costs, which can cost you up to a few $1,000s, right? Depending on, depending on the property. So if it costs you a few K, now, granted, will you have to pay closing costs? Will I have to pay closing costs? Well, the answer is it depends because a lot of times, realtors are able to negotiate for you seller assists and things like that, where a lot of times that those closing costs and additional fees or a portion of those fees can be credited to you. Now, closing costs can consist of many things like documentation fees, pulling your credit report, origination fees for the mortgage. All these things that goes on behind the scenes to actually process the loan and to get you approved, and to really get all that paperwork done, right? Things like that. We got to think about inspections, which we didn't touch on. We got to think about appraisals, which we didn't touch on. These things come out of your pocket. And I just sent out an email the other day really explaining to people that one thing about being a homeowner is there's so much power in home ownership. Not only are you able to get tax benefits, not only are you able to build equity in your property, which increases your value, real estate increases over time. Real estate appreciates over time. As you see right now, and if you look in the market, right? And sometimes you see the market go like this. And the market goes up, the market goes down, and then eventually the market balances out. So a lot of times that real estate, specifically in desired areas, appreciates. So there's so many benefits to owning real estate. But one of the things that we have to keep in mind is becoming an owner, becoming a boss, is it costs to be the boss. And you must pay the cost, you must pay the maintenance, you must pay the repairs. The entire property is now your responsibility. You must pay the taxes every year and pretty much maintain that property. So you always want to understand, and I always tell people, do an educational home buyers, first time home buyers workshop before you purchase a property so that way you are fully educated. Okay, you can join my credit program where we talk about real estate as well, simply because I'm a licensed agent. Join the website, preciouscredit.net, set up the consultation because as we know, what do you need in order to get approved for a mortgage? One of those things is credit. So do not lack with your credit and miss your approval. So pretty much, man, a lot comes with ownership, but these are some of the main questions that you want to ask yourself and you want to consider based off your personal situation, based off your personal finance. And if you're buying a property with someone else, based off of you all personal finance and what your situation is how you're going to answer these questions comfortably with professionals that are able to assist you, man. So I hope you and I wish you guys well on your journey in 2023. All my home buyers, all my first time home buyers, all my people that need their credit repaired, visit the website preciouscredit.net. I'm going to set you up with that free consultation, and I'm going to see y'all next time. Peace.